Title IX based on what's called guidance directives from the federal government in 2011. And all the universities, private, Emory, and Georgia Tech, and all the universities are required to do something to make their campuses safe from sexual assaults. That has become enormously controversial and difficult. If you're a university administrator, and I'll be practical here, the most practical way, and everybody in the frat house is drunk, and X percentage of the frat house young women are passed out, and Y percentage of the men don't know what happened either because they're too drunk to know, and their sexual assault allegations, you are in charge of figuring out what happens. You're the dean of that, and you've got to figure out what happens. And part of your plan for investigations has to be an awareness to the student body that we, the university, care about this issue. We expect you to report, and we expect to investigate. Earl Earhart, who represents Cobb County, and it controls the money, billions of dollars, in his view, controls the money, and in evidence, he messes with it, is taking the side of the wrongfully accused young men in sexual assault cases. He has personally filed a federal lawsuit contesting the legal viability of this portion of Title IX, and he has appeared on Fox News frequently, and he's become the national spokesman for the young men who've been wrongly accused. And I'm 100% sure there have been some young men somewhere wrongly accused. I'm also 100% sure that if I were running Emory University or Georgia Tech, I would put my smartest people in charge. Please help me figure this out. I mean, you could just say nobody can drink on this campus until the end of time. That's one thing you could do, but
Georgia Tech has said that to many.
Yeah, right.
You can say it all you want.
it's a tough one. It's a tough problem. So Earl has chosen this issue not in the way you should approach this issue, in a very tough, intellectually honest way, but he's chosen it to call the sexual assault victims' names. In public, on the record, in front of the camera, he calls them names. You're a snowflake. If you're going to be triggered here, you go somewhere else to be triggered. He uses all the language of sexual assault abuse victims and hurls it in them in public. In other words, to put it mildly, he's a bad messenger for a difficult issue. And he's found a national platform. I was so amazed that the House leadership would tolerate this national bad. I went to the House leadership. I said, guys, I have been interviewed personally by the New York Times, by BuzzFeed, and by Politico, and I have not been careful at what I've said, okay? You need to know. And despite that,
And this looks really bad.
This
Why
looks
are you
really
letting him
bad.
do it? Yeah.
you're letting him, if he had stood up there and said, this is a tough issue, and I want to help make this better, maybe, like Delaware, I got all this information from Delaware. They spent 2 years in the legislative community trying to help or monitor or manage how do you do this. And the advocates on all sides came forward, and this is stuff I've been reading, and felt like this was an honest process. There was a public discussion about what to do. If he had done that, we could have had an honest, that's not what he's done. And he wants, and this could happen, President Trump to repeal the regulations and the guidance about sexual assault responsibilities investigation. I personally think that whatever Donald Trump does today, tomorrow, or next Wednesday is unpredictable. But it is realistic to think that he might repeal it all. And then Emory and Georgia Tech would be on their own to decide whether they think this is important. So, the Republican leadership allowed this bill to go forward with this name calling, including inviting the accused assaulter into the hearings with the woman he assaulted. Leadership allowed that, and then allowed a vote multiple times that was 100% partisan. I come to these guys, you want a partisan vote on rape? Is that what you want? So I was doing all that behind the scenes to no avail. It was fascinating to me that one legislator could cause so much trouble on something that truly was never going to become law.
Why did they let him get away with it, and when it was clear it was not gonna, because then it landed in the Judiciary Committee, which I'm on, in the Senate. And it was clear that there was a lot of problems with it, tons of work to be done if we, and I do give the chairman credit, and a lot of, they worked it, they reworked it, they had it where it didn't do what Earl really wanted it to do. So the basic thing that he wanted it to do was demand that if someone made an allegation of sexual assault, that the school automatically had to report it to the cops.
Law enforcement.
Law enforcement, right. And so there's all kinds of problems with that. I mean, sexual assault obviously is notoriously difficult to prove. Cops often, the local law enforcement often don't and can't necessarily take any steps. Obviously, even if they could, people are on campus for 5 years. It would then prohibit the university from taking like interim measures that could solve the problem on its own. Like it might be that so-and-so is like Amy. I had a hypothetical committee. I was like, let's say it's Anne and Billy. I can't remember what I named them. And I was like, they used to date. She's dating someone new. He basically doesn't accept that and forces himself on her. She doesn't want to see him again. She doesn't want to be in the same dorm anymore. She doesn't want to have classes with him anymore. But she doesn't want to like him go to jail. She doesn't want to like go to the police and have his life here.
Transition about victims' rights in my legal career, and I used to be a magistrate, of course, judge, and hear these sexual assault allegations, deciding whether I had decided whether to do a warrant or not. It's been a trend, which I think has been positive, that it's up to the victim whether or not you go to law enforcement. There are a lot of reasons she would not want to go to law enforcement, a lot of reasons she might. It's her choice, and I'm using gender stereotypes here, but it's not only men versus women, it's also within same-sex assaults too.
Yeah.
So what does she want? What's best for her? What is her family? And when I watched these young victims, and they were all young, young, it was just amazing to me. The quality of their presentations, the way they manage the emotion, being called names by Earl Earhart. Get out of here, you snowflake.
They were tough. Yeah, 23-year-old law student who basically had been assaulted as an undergrad at Agnes Scott and camped out at the legislature for the entire semester.
And she handled all that, that legislative lobbying stuff that we do.
Yep.
She did it well. It's a hard thing to do. I mean, the people are paid $gazillion to do it and don't do it well. And she did it well, and she held it together.
And she was more than willing to stand up to him.
Yeah.
And he hated
He
her.
hated her.
And it was flagrant on his face
She went up to him
how
afterwards
much
and
he
said,
hated her.
He wouldn't shake her hand and turn around and walk away.
He said, "You're a spoiled child."
You're a spoiled child, you need to grow up.
Yeah. So that, again, to your point, totally working against him, right? So, but
It
the whole,
didn't pass.
it did
What's
pass.
the conversation he had that you're worried about after session?
He wants to get the federal government to President Trump to repeal the regulations, and his conversation was is it Secretary Commissioner Davis?
Secretary of
A
Education.
billionaire woman.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Billionaire woman.
Yeah. Our Secretary of Education for the United States.
So that's what
Yeah.
Earl Earhart did today. When I was at my law office making money, hopefully, he was still agitating for his personal lawsuit against the feds and for President Trump to repeal his regulations.
She is a woman,
You have to talk to her.
but she doesn't seem to have a
Well,
conscience
she
about anything else.
supposedly opposed the rollback of the bathroom equality issue that the guidance of the Obama administration had done, but Jeff Sessions demanded it. You needed both of them, and Trump told her to get on board.
It was
She's like the only woman in the cabinet, right?
She apparently on that one, she was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I think we should leave it the way the guidance is, and they steamrolled her.
McConnell's wife, she's secretary,
Yeah.
But I'll tie this up. It's a fact. One of the reasons I keep going down there is that my jaw keeps dropping at the fascination I have with these characters. Why is it that this is successful behavior? on the
Well,
part
let's
of-
tell them. So then the bill basically dies in the Senate committee. It can't get going.
We
There's
had
no way.
drama. We had drama every hour.
Every hour. And then Earl Earhart is not giving up, and he's like in our chamber like a prowling jaguar trying to figure out how he's gonna pass it. And so then they send it to us again. Why did they do that?
Because they could.
But why would David Ralston be interested in
The
that?
conference committee was appointed to the Senate, the conference committee was appointed to the House, and I went up to one of the conferees, I won't name, who is a Republican, and he's got pluses and minuses, but I went up to him about 6 or 7 o'clock. I said, I will bring you a drink of your choice if you tell me when your conference committee is meeting. He said, I've already had a few drinks, I don't need any more. I said, will you tell me? Anyway, the conference committee gonna, we haven't met. You get it? We hadn't met.
They never met all day.
They weren't planning, he wasn't gonna tell me they weren't gonna be.
Right.
He was just, we're not gonna be. You got it? We're not gonna be. So the Senate killed it.
Yeah.
But allowed Earl to stomp around and
Bellow.
and call people names, snarl at me, you know.
So why is he so driven on this? Do you know?
He's gotten on Fox News numerous times.
You think it's just that that's it?
He's-
I've seen him be an ugly personality on other issues.
He's the author of numerous bad pieces of public policy that
Why
we
do
have
they let him
to
do it? Tech is important. Why don't they take a now they got their $44 million building, they just delayed it, but they got money. And today, meeting with Secretary DeVos is also Steve Wrigley, the Regent's chancellor.
Oh.
So I really would have paid money to be in that room. I would have paid money. And what I read says no press allowed. Certainly not Mary Martin's.
Ew. Well, we will find out.
Unfortunately, we're gonna find out.
We will find out. He did a few other bad things this session. All right, now.